We'll get to Invincible because I haven't seen the last episode. I'm assuming it already came out for this
Yeah,
week.
you didn't watch it, bro? Come on, man. That was one of the best episodes of the season.
What day does it come out?
Thursday.
Does it come out Thursday? Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought it came out later.
I
missed out,
have
bro.
not watched any Invincible yet.
Shame.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been watching Castlevania. I finished that. So
Yeah, I did see the episode from last week. What happened? I think it was. I remember his brother was sneaking out of the house to go play with some other kids, but he didn't put any makeup. I remember that happening. I remember him and Adam Eve were trying to get an apartment. They decided not to get one. Does he get beat up? It seems like Mark is always getting beat up.
Yeah, he takes a lot of L's, but
isn't that like the whole show? He's just getting beat up.
Yeah, he's getting his ass.
I mean, that's one of the shows. That's one of the things that makes the show better. If he won,
Yeah, because he's not like all powerful like Superman.
You call
Yeah,
him like
exactly.
Well,
very
the show is
Yeah,
Invincible, so technically he can't die.
That's part of the funny. That's the funny part of
Yeah.
it. No. The funny part is that's his name, but he's definitely not invincible.
Oh,
I remember now. He fights that dragon, and that dragon, messes him up because they're trying to get
that dragon. Yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, that dragon
because
was crazy.
they're trying to get the guy that can clone himself out of prison. Yeah, that one scene where he's in prison and he just keeps multiplying himself until the prison door breaks. So like the brains are popping open and stuff like that of all his like clones. I was like,
you know what's crazy about a character like that, bro? Like, I'm
Somebody's
surprised they
clean
didn't
all
do
that
it.
stuff up.
But like something like that would be used as like an organ donor. Like there's some crazy stuff they could do with characters like that, bro. I know that's kind of just messed up and morally wrong, but I feel like with like a syndicate like that would use that man as just an organ transplant, like this facility, you know, so you can duplicate his body.
What I don't get about do they ever explain how their powers work? What let's look it up. What are the characters' name again?
Some people are genetically modified. Like what is it, Rex?
Oh, you are. No, duplicate. No, they did explain where the powers come from.
Yeah. They
No. Not so much where they come from, but how do they work? Because if you think about it, their powers really don't make any sense.
You talk well, they're basically creating something out of nothing. That's what I
Yeah, because you got to think. Okay, well, the amount of energy it would take to create a whole nother you. That's not just multiplication powers. That's like some kind of energy manipulation.
And they don't get tired. They can do it infinitely. That's the one thing. It'd be one thing.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he did seem like he got kind of fatigued the more he was creating them while he was in the prison.
No, I wouldn't think
it was the pain. That was the pain. It was not the fatigue. It was the pain of his other bodies dying. I think that's what was going on. I don't think he was really getting fatigued.
I thought maybe because he was just creating so many of them, but I could be wrong. Let's read right here. It says Kate possesses the ability to instantly create any number of identical physical duplicates of herself at will, and likes. I don't know what's going on with why this thing is doing all this. It says why is it doing that? Okay, here we go. The duplicates are created by Kate focusing on it and making them split off from within her. It's not yet known the exact number of duplicates of herself she can create before taxing the ability. Each of the duplicates are capable of independent thought, feeling, and action, yet they are telepathically linked from formation to absorption, instantly knowing everything the others do. Weaknesses. Kate's replicating requires enough physical space to be performed. If she is restrained, such as being held by a Komodo dragon, the duplicate cannot split off her and hence would not come into existence. Telepathic link. Each Kate simultaneously feels the same experiences as the other. Hence, if one dies, they all feel it.
See, that's why he was getting tired. It wasn't that fatigue. It was him dying over and over.
It's interesting because if you really think about what it would take to create a copy of yourself instantly, I mean, that's a lot of energy. So it's some kind of it's really some kind of energy manipulation. It's probably similar to what's like a low level form of Adam and Eve's powers, if you think about it, like being able to like control molecules on like a molecular level or whatever, or atoms on an atomic level. Which actually would make them quite powerful, if you think about it.
Well, it's magic, Brian.
Is it magic?
I mean, they're weak and powerful at the same time, right? Because they're only as strong as a person.
The powers come from a curse, so it's magic.
Oh, so it's magic. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
No, because the person isn't that strong, then the clones are basically weak. And that's the main problem, So you aren't strong.
I don't mean like physical
Power's
strength. I don't mean like physical strength. I mean like if they're able to use energy to make so many clones of themselves, they're tapping into something. And if they figured out how to tap into that, they could probably do other things. Is my point. Like instead of like making duplicates of yourself, take the same amount of energy to make duplicates of yourself and just enhance your being, like your essence, and make yourself stronger. In fact, you see what I'm saying? Because
maybe they could duplicate other objects too. Do
you see my point though? If they figured out what ability, what energy they're tapping into to clone themselves, they could take that same energy and just enhance their selves, like give themselves super strength or super speed or super hearing, or be able to see really far distances or something like that, or make part of their limbs really large or grow really big. I
wonder if she could do that while cloning.
What?
Like say, because cloning herself, it overwhelms the enemy because it's trying to figure out which one is the real her. So most of the time, when it's a clone character,
I mean that's already established, so that's not really going to work for duplicate.
Oh,
duplicate.
But I get what you mean by her superpowers, and
maybe I'm overthinking it, but it's just like when you really start to really think about what the powers are, not or how they work, not so much what they are. It's kind of like Gambit. His powers aren't to charge up cards. His powers is like kinetic energy or something like that. And he's actually stunted. He's actually extremely. Isn't he like an Omega level mutant if he wasn't stunted?
Yeah, he had to weaken his power for some reason.
He's an Omega level.
I don't think he weakened it. I think somebody else weakened it.
Mr. Sinister did.
Yeah, same thing with Iceman. Iceman is Omega level mutant. Like his powers isn't freeze. It's some kind of like.
It's like molecule manipulation.
Heat manipulation, right? Yeah.
But they all get nerfed basically.
Yeah. So if you think about the X-Men, like the X-Men roster, you got Storm. I don't know if she's a mega. I mean, now she's a mega level. They made her, but she's damn near close. You got Jean Grey, who's a mega level. You have Cyclops.
Storm's actually beyond a mega now. She's actually
I know. They did something.
She had died.
Yeah, they did something with her now. But I'm talking about before that.
Well, she had the ability. She has the ability to manipulate any form of weather. That goes from cosmic storm down to planetary. So,
but that's a byproduct of what her real power is. Her real power is she could see the electromagnetic something and manipulate it. I can't remember what it is. But I guess the point I'm trying to make though is if you look at the roster, you got an extremely powerful alpha level mutant Cyclops. You have basically a whole military in one person, a basic super soldier. You got Wolverine. You got Storm, who's damn near an Omega level mutant. You got Iceman, Omega level mutant. Gambit, Omega level mutant. You got Rogue, who's as damn near as strong as Juggernaut. And then you have Jean Grey, Omega level mutant. It's just like, damn.
when you really think about it, Wolverine is actually one of the weaker X-Men.
Yeah, from what I read, Wolverine was designed to take out extremely powerful characters because of his unique power set. Like he's designed to take out characters who are just more powerful than him, or his super soldier.
He's still my favorite X-Men of all time, but he's actually one of the weaker X-Men.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to really like Wolverine. As I got older, I was like, I guess because everybody else likes him and they overuse him, he just got kind of annoying to me. I actually really like Cyclops now.
We hated Cyclops when we were kids.
I did. I hated Cyclops, but as I've gotten older, I like
Cyclops
characters. I like characters who have limited ability, but they've mastered that limited ability and they go way beyond what they're probably be capable of if they didn't train hard and do like that one guy from My Hero Academia, that Jeans guy.
That's Genus.
Yeah, because his powers is kind of stupid. And I remember when he fought that All for One guy, and the guy was like, "Man, you really mastered this. Like, you took this way beyond." Same thing with that 1 million guy. He's sort of similar. You can just go through walls or whatever. I like that type of thing. You know who's similar to that is the first Captain Marvel with his nega bands. You know, he had a very small level of cosmic awareness, and he took that ability and he really made that thing shine.
You want to know who? You want to know what game? It was a game that actually showed off who like the Marvel Ultimate series, man. Because you can have your team, and it'll bring out the best. Like if you had Captain America in the charge of a team, he basically his leadership will boister everybody. That's what Captain America does in the comic books. Or Cyclops, if he was under if you had a contingent of X-Men, all the X-Men got overpowered. I'm like, okay. So I see what you're saying with Cyclops. He really like wowed me in X-Men 97 because I was like,
he was whooping ass in X-Men 97, man.
Like that first scene where he came down and he was using his powers to like slide across the ground. I'm like, what the hell
I like
was
that.
this?
I like that type. I think that's more fun.
The cool scenes where he was falling out the sky and he uses his laser beams to land.
Yeah, it's not laser beams
or his eye beams or whatever.
It's not eye beams. It's concussive blast, sir. You will use the correct terminology.
Well, that's more fun to me than someone who's just kind of like, oh, I have a healing power. I can heal from anything. I have all these powers. I'm just so powerful, like Superman. I can just do everything. I'm a god. Blah blah blah. It's just man, like that's what Invincible. That's what's so good about Invincible. It's like,
well,
he's not invincible. He's
well,
he's a man, not a god.
Yeah, he actually has to work at it, man.
And I'm the only one that still buys comic books out the crew, I think. But that's what he does through the whole series.
That's not true. I buy comics. I buy black comics, so.
Well, I buy all comics, but eventually he does. He's the story is literally a zero to hero story because he starts at the bottom and he ends up at the top. So, in Trials, like we said last week, is basically a better Spider-Man story.
Yeah. I wouldn't say better, but I think it's more updated for modern kind of taste. It has more violence in it. I think cursing and stuff like that is, it's definitely not your father's superhero. Sure, a little bit more for older audiences. Yeah.
Well, they did have that new Spider-Man series that came out. It just finished. I didn't watch any of it though.
It looks stupid to me. I didn't like the look of it. I'm sure it's good. I don't like the look of it.
Oh, you don't like that animation style?
Yeah, you can't give me Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse and then give me that. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Man, that costs a lot of money to make that, man.
I don't care.
It's two different studios.
I don't care.
But I mean, that costs a lot of money to make.
One's Disney,
like that,
one's Sony.
Spider-Man is Sony.
Well, Sony has to do something.
Well, the show he's talking about is from Disney Plus or Disney.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, how do you know it wasn't produced by Sony? It's just not. It's just showing.
Well, Sony still had a hand in it because everything's Spider-Man. They got to get it. They got to get that dollar.
Yeah, I think Sony still owns the rights.
So, yeah, but like I said, it's just a better Spider-Man story, and literally he starts from the bottom, he ends up at the top, and the journey there so far is what is intriguing. He's still, like we said last week, he's going through real life stuff. He has to find an apartment and figure out how to pay for it.
Yeah.
He juggles women.
And Adam and Eve is just such a much better fit for him because his other girlfriend was getting on my nerves.
Amber.
Yeah, you want to talk about like properly depicting the modern Western woman? Freaking Amber, man. It's just ungrateful and annoying. Yeah.
Does he have women issues to like all of his showing or like through the whole show?
It's through the whole show. Yes, we can't. There's some crazy stuff that's going to happen in the future. We can't spoil it though.
You cannot spoil it.
Let me see if they do that one thing with Anissa.
Well,
spoil it for him, don't.
I don't know because
we gonna see.
I don't know because this last I'll let it wait until after next week. But something was supposed to happen with Amber, and it didn't happen. So
Yeah, they are cutting some stuff out, some of the more crazier stuff that happened in the comic. They've slowly started cutting some of that stuff. But
I mean, they already got cursing and Omni Man just wrecking through
yeah, but
people,
that part's
ripping their
too
bodies apart.
integral to Mark's story though, because they don't do that. Like the whole story would change to some. There would be major parts that would change if they don't add that part.
Yeah.
They had to add something similar to that in the show because it impacts his character a lot.
Yeah.
But and well, the other thing is, I like the fact that this about Invincible is everybody's growing. It's not just Mark. Like you see, Omni-Man is one place, and now he's changing into somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
The people who basically how we should treat this world. The people who stay the same, they gotta go. They got to go. But the people who decide, like, I gotta change the world, and if you're not down for the cause, you gotta go. And that's how I see his story so far. Everybody who's stuck in the past, they get left in the past.
That's Immortal, bro. Immortal's stuck in the past.
Oh, he has plot armor.
I know he's the worst character. I'm not gonna lie, he's the worst character in the series.
Plot armor is crazy.
Immortal?
Yeah, that man's trash.
I mean, why do you say that for?
I mean,
Like, what's your reasoning? What's your reasoning for saying?
You would think with somebody with his amount of experience or how long he's lived, he would have like a better mindset.
Well,
especially
well,
when it comes to that, in that future timeline. I'm like, yo, like,
well, that's what I don't think you were paying attention. His weakness is that, look, put it like this: can you remember much of when you were like 2 or 3 years old?
not really.
No, you can't. So his weakness is he lives so long, but he still has an average brain. So he remember he even says it in the cartoon. He was like, I can't even remember. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the women I've loved and married, I can't even remember half of them because it's so long ago. His brain can't keep it all. You see what I'm saying? So that's part of his. So he's gone crazy. He went crazy
for living so long.
I thought that was really cool. It was an interesting take on immortality that you don't really often see that much.
Yeah, because usually immortality they show it as you being wise and all that.
Yeah, so I was like, I think that's I wouldn't call it trash. I don't think it's a trash character. I think it's an interesting take. That's an interesting take, like on the immortality trope that I had. I don't really quite see. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe it's some obscure thing somewhere, but in like a mainstream media type, I've never seen anybody take that take with immortality. The closest I've seen is there's a movie called The Man from Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah, that was a damn good movie.
That's a good movie. Yeah, I've never seen the sequel, but the first one was good as hell. But
sequel is not as good.
Yeah.
But it
was good because I won't ruin the story for you, Carvin. You should check it out. Definitely check this movie out. Because this movie is a good example of you don't need a big budget. You don't need special effects. I think most of the movie takes place in one room. I think they go outside of his house for a couple times.
They did like a type of thing.
Yeah, in one room. Yeah, it's just a conversation between some old professors, and you find out that one of the professors that's leaving the college, and no one can understand why he's leaving. He's just up and leaving. And then as he's talking to them, they have like a little party, a little dinner party. They're kind of like celebrating his him leaving. And he just kind of breaks down and tells them, he was like, look, I'm a Cro-Magnon. I've been alive since caveman days. And at first they don't believe him, but he starts revealing all this stuff. But one of the things he says is, I'm an average intelligence. My intelligence grew as humanity's intelligence grew. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Grow at a faster rate though, since he has more time than anybody else. Like, but if you be at the highest, if you live that long, right, you have the opportunity to just have the highest IQ of any human that ever existed, because you have more time to study knowledge and learn things, right? Go ahead.
But you have more time to study, but you also have more time to forget.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, not everyone's going to be a genius. He may just not have one of those types of minds. Like he probably smarter than the average person because he's been around so long. He just knows more things. But like he said, when it came to in the movie, when it came to advancements in sciences and stuff, he met a lot of famous people. But he said his advancement grew with humanity's advancement. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't be everywhere doing everything all at once. It was a really interesting take. You know, you should definitely watch the movie. It was a good take. You know, it's this notion that, okay, if your power is immortality, that you automatically have this great mind, I think is what makes the immortal such a good, interesting character. Like, you know, even though he's a man out of time, he's still a man of the times because he can't remember. He can't remember, even though he's been alive for so long. So I thought it was interesting. That's why I don't think he's a trash character. I thought that was an interesting take. You know,
I honestly
feel like that's the most realistic.
Yeah,
honestly.
I honestly can't think of any character on the show that's like, I'm totally just, why are you here?
Yeah.
Even though Amber is annoying, I see the purpose that she served.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, give Mark a little taste of that toxic relationship, so he can appreciate what he has with Adam and Eve. I guess everyone has to go through it.
Everybody has problems sometimes.
Lucent Troupe Studio.